The race to the top of the figure division is pretty crowded these days, but that doesn't seem to be bothering perennial figure powerhouse Wendy Fortino too much. Earlier this week, some new training footage surfaced of an incredible looking Fortino hammering out a couple of intense shoulder training sets as she makes her way through the latest phase of her off-season program. Despite not making her way to the Olympia stage for the first time in nearly 3 years, Fortino still managed to put together a pretty incredible season that included 5 consecutive top 10 finishes and a brilliant third place showing back at the Arizona Pro. If she can make a few minor improvements and start to bring her conditioning up by a few percentage points, I think she'll be getting back to her winning form a whole lot sooner than later. Less than a week removed from locking up the first top 10 finish of her young career at the Ferrigno Legacy Classic, rising women's physique pro Hannah Holmen hasn't wasted any time getting back to work. In a recent leg training video, we see a much bigger and fuller looking version of Holmen taking full advantage of her post-show rebound as she cranks out the reps on a serious set of leg extensions. This season, we've really seen Holmen start to come into her own as a physique pro, and she seems to be starting to figure out exactly what it is she has to do to come in at her absolute best each and every time out. If she can maintain this level of focus and continue to draw on her relentless drive, I don't think it'll be long before she starts to become a serious contender in women's physique. Champions might be crowned on stage, but anyone worth their salt knows that they made it in the off-season. And a few weeks into her off-season, our old friend Christina Farnsworth certainly seems to be training like someone who's got some future championships on her mind. Earlier this week, some new leg training footage surfaced of the Danish Diamond absolutely destroying 315 for 10 solid reps in the squat rack, under the watchful eye of husband and training partner Derek Farnsworth. This year, the former Olympian decided to make the jump from women's physique over to figure, and a handful of top 10 placings later, it looks more and more like she made the right decision. Now that she'll have a full off-season to readjust her training and focused on fine-tuning her game, I have no doubt that come next season, we'll be looking at the best Christina Farnsworth we've ever seen. A few weeks removed from capping off a spectacular 2016 season that included a huge win at the Chicago Pro and a top 5 finish at the Olympia, women's physique superstar Jamie Pinder is already back to putting in OT at the office. This week, some new training footage surfaced of Pinder hammering out a few sets of high-rep shoulder training as she looks to build on a momentum from earlier in the season. Over the last 2 years, Pinder might arguably be one of the most improved athletes in the entire women's physique division. And that never say never die attitude she brings with her every day to the gym has been the real key to her success. When she's at the top of her game, Pinder is absolutely one of the top talents in the women's physique division right now. And the scary thing is, I don't even think she's reached her peak yet. I don't think you can have a discussion about the top talents in the fitness division right now without mentioning the name Arielle Khadar. This year, the 24-year-old phenom had her own personal coming out party when she won the Toronto Pro in impressive fashion and followed that up with a top 8 finish in her first career Olympia for an encore. Since wrapping that pretty Olympia-sized bow around her contest season, Khadar has been hard at work preparing to make the 2017 season her best yet, when she'll look to take the next step and really establish herself as one of the preeminent talents in the sport. Even with just 3 pro shows under her belt, you can see that Khadar is bursting at the seams with talent. And with another year or 2 under her belt, I can see her starting to make some moves up the ladder and inserting herself right into the conversation of potential title threats. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. Check out IronMagLabs.com today. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.